I want you to steal this marketing funnel and I want you to use it for your digital product. Whether you're selling a coaching program, a course, software, whatever it is, this funnel works. You don't need experience with ads. You do not need some complicated marketing funnel system. You don't have to create content marketing organically for years and years before expecting sales to come in. This is a super powerful funnel, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed using it and now sharing it with you. Content to Cash, the digital product marketing funnel. It's kind of a dramatic name, but I think you'll like it. Okay, the first thing you want to do is start with what you know the best. Now, I'm assuming you're selling a digital product. So create content that you love. This is important. Now, I'm already assuming that the content you're creating is on a topic that you know the market is hungry for. And if you don't know that, I do that training in other videos. I'm assuming this is where you're at. So now you're going to create content that you love and you're sharing knowledge from topics that you're passionate about. For people who struggle to know if they're really good at communication, let me tell you a really cool secret. When someone loves a topic, and they teach on that topic and they share it with others and they genuinely want to help others, that person comes alive. It's super interesting because it's from your heart. It removes the ums and the uhs and the awkward pauses because you're just being yourself and you're changing. Number two, you're going to leverage your expertise. Your deep knowledge is valuable, so don't underestimate it. A lot of people do this, especially men. They think low of themselves. They don't think, I just literally met with a guy yesterday over the phone, him and his dad. And this guy, the son, he's like, I've seen other people out there with YouTube channels, and I don't think there's any way I could actually create my own digital product because I'm not good enough. They're way better. And my response to him was, are you listening to what you're saying? You're basically saying you can never succeed in this industry because someone's better than you. If that was true for all industries, then 98% of all employees could not be employed because only the very best of the best could be hired and the entire world economy would shut down. There are people out there who will pay you for your knowledge, who will pay you for your coaching, who will pay you for your digital product. They're going to connect with your personality, they're going to love your story, and they're going to believe in what you're teaching, and they like your angle. And because you already created that hyper niche, which I've shared on this channel many times, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to find people. They will find you. That's the cool part, is when you start creating content you love, people start following you because you're giving them solutions. Next, you're going to go where your audience is. This is important. Don't just default to YouTube or default to Instagram or default to LinkedIn. I have tested LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook fan page, Facebook personal page, and YouTube, and as well as email. And I can tell you amongst all of them, by far, YouTube has generated me more leads than all the other combined. Therefore, I put most focus on YouTube. You will save so much time and scale incredibly faster if you find the platform where your ideal customer is already on. Like if you're into network distribution, then you need to see, are people searching that on YouTube? Are they looking for solutions on Facebook? What about Instagram? On blog posts? And once you find that, that's where you put your focus on. It doesn't mean you can't be on all other platforms, but I'm telling you this, do things that will give you the best ROI on your time and your money, which means you're going to go 100 times further if you focus on one platform that has most of your leads than trying to do all the platforms and giving them equal focus. Lastly, stay consistent. Regular posting is going to build two things for you: momentum and visibility. Don't focus on having the perfect picture, the perfect video, the ideal blog post. You spend 6, 7, 8 hours on that, and that ends up being all that you do. And no company's going to last if all you do is market. If all that you do is content marketing. What you need to do is focus on documenting. Share what you're learning as you go. It keeps it real, keeps it authentic. Share with people what works, what doesn't for you, and they're going to love that, and you will naturally build your audience. Okay, so this is the first section. Start with what you know the best. This is why I love about this concept. You already have knowledge that can be monetized into $1 million. And I want you to know, I don't say that lightly. I don't just say that because it sounds fancy and impressive. You actually do. You only need 200 customers if your digital product is selling for $5,000. 200 customers is such a tiny percentage of the 8.2 billion people in this world. We literally created a graph. And over here, we showed that this graph represented all the people in the world. And over here, it represented 200 customers. And you want to know how small it was? It was there, but the bar graph was so small, we couldn't even see it. So yeah, you can become a millionaire doing this. Next, you're going to attract your ideal audience. Your goal is not growth of your YouTube channel or growth of Instagram. Those are byproducts of doing the right thing. Your goal is to find your ideal client. There are people with millions of subscribers that make nothing on YouTube. For them, it's entertainment. They just like doing it. It's a hobby. It's a fun, creative project. And there are other people with just a few thousand subscribers who are multimillionaires. The reason is because the people with just a few thousand subscribers are targeting the ideal audience. All their content focuses on the one thing. Now, let me explain how this works. Magnetic content. Your expertise will naturally attract people who are looking for solutions, and they will discover your content when searching for answers. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you teach people how to play pickleball, and your focus is for families who wanna spend time and build family memories. And you put up a video on YouTube explaining the main positions to hold the paddle. And in the context, you explain you do this for families. And then some mom's like, hey, let's go play pickleball next Saturday. So she's Googling, how do I do this? Your video pops up. She watches the video. Oh, that's how you do it. She gets value out of it. She subscribes to you. The next day, she's like, honey, on their way to pickleball. Hey, honey, I watched this. I subscribed to this YouTube channel that helped me a ton in knowing how to hold the pickleball paddle. Check this out. And she shows him, and then he's interested. He goes and subscribes. 3 months later, they buy your program. See how that works? You created value. It's a magnet. You don't have to chase clients. They will come to you. Next, engagement signals. Look for comments and direct messages. It's really important you engage with your followers. These are signs that your content is resonating with the right people. Someone's going to say, oh, that was really helpful, but I heard about this move in pickleball by Dink. How do you do that? Or someone else is going to say, oh, that's really cool, but man, when I bring my 2-year-old, it's such a disaster because my 2-year-old's just running all over the place. Do you have kids? Have you had experience with this? And you start adding more value in your replies to their comments. And then finally, trust building. When your advice works, trust will build naturally. Never rush to sell before establishing credibility. That's important. Yes, you want to make money. Be open about that. I want to make money, 100%. Nothing wrong with that. You should too. But if you just rush to, oh, look at my program, buy, no one's going to care. They don't know who you are. But once you've built a relationship with them because you keep providing value, eventually someday they're going to go, you know what? This channel has helped me for the longest time, or this Instagram account, and they've had this program and they have a discount coming up. I'm going to buy this before the discount's over. And all of a sudden you get a flood of sales. Be patient, be consistent. I will tell you this, if your main focus is to provide value, the money will follow. It may not happen as soon as you want or as much as you want as soon as you want, or it could even happen sooner or faster. That's not the issue. Focus on consistency. All right, the third part of building out this funnel. Track your growth metrics. Now, the metrics here are not pulled out of a hat. These are real life metrics from expert marketers. So here we go. 3 times engagement rule. Higher than industry average when content aligns with audience needs. This probably should be 4 to 5 times. I have seen more than 3 times engagement when I create content that aligns with what my followers want to hear. And even on those posts where you don't get responses, do not give up or get discouraged. People are still watching. People are still consuming. If you be consistent over a long period of time, that's when people go, oh, okay, this person is for real. This isn't just something they're doing on the side to make a quick buck. They're actually in this industry. They know what they're talking about. 32% response rate. I have seen an increase up to 32% more response rate when your content aligns with what they want. And the key is engage followers who reach out with questions and you respond to those questions. Now, I don't have a percentage for this one because trust is such you can't really measure trust. Like, how do you measure that? But I would tell you this, trust increases when you solve problems before selling. You want to influence people, help them solve their problem before you ask for anything. Now, is there a time and a place where you say, hey, I have a deal going on, or I have a bonus here. I'm giving away my training for this amount for this number of days. And that adds urgency, which is important. Yes, you can do that, and you should. I mean, if you're running a business, can you imagine Walmart? They're like, yeah, we just give stuff out for free all day. We just give it out. Like, the business would die, and eventually that wouldn't work. When you go to a restaurant, would you expect to get a meal for free? Of course not. They're a business. How are they going to pay their employees? How are they going to make money? How are they going to pay their bills? So yes, if you're a business, don't be shy about asking for the sale. But first, give value. Show that you know what you're talking about and help people. That builds goodwill. And then you'll know when the time is to say, okay, I'm ready to offer something for sale. Okay, the next part, create your free community. Now, this is a huge shift when it comes to the online digital product world. If you go all the way back to 2016, which is when I started selling a course for my first time. This is after I've been an Amazon seller for 2 years, and I started teaching people what I was succeeding in. And I've been able to leave fire my boss, leave my job at the richest company in the world, Apple at the time, to go be a full-time Amazon seller. So I created a course. Back then, community was important. And community is one of those things that will never die. Since God created Adam and Eve, and God gave Eve to Adam as a helpmate so they could be together, they could make love, they could do life, they could eat fruit from the tree, just not from the wrong one because that was really stupid and it's created a lot of issues. From their time all the way to today, people love and need community. But here's what's changed since 2016, even since 2010, if you go back and do the research. People want community more than they used to because they don't trust online people who are saying, hey, I know how to do this, or I know how to do this. They want community. They want to be able to engage with people, and it builds that trust. But even more importantly than that, they want to do life with other people because people are alone. People are afraid. Never before have you seen such a gap in the world of social communication. So you want to create your free community. And I'm going to tell you which community is so easy a 10-year-old could set this up. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Skool, Skool. I'm not an affiliate of them. Maybe I will be someday, but I'm not today. So you're going to set up your platform. You're going to create a dedicated community on Skool, and your goal is very simple. Make it easy to join, but viable enough to stay. Now, thank God, Sam Ovens already made sure it's easy to join. It's literally a click of a button. You accept them if they're approved. They have to have a photo. They have to have an email. And I would encourage you to include a couple questions to vet them, to let them know you take this seriously. Don't make it too easy, right? But it's literally like 30 seconds. They apply, and then you accept them unless you don't trust them for some reason. And now they're in your community, which is awesome. Easy. And all you do is just share the link on YouTube, share the link on Instagram in your profile, share the link on Facebook, wherever you're creating the content, invite people into this community. When they get into the community, the way you keep them is you provide value in that community. You do polls, you share GIFs, you ask everyone how they're doing, you share links to your content, you engage them. More important than just dumping tons of content on them, because they're already going to get that on your platform. What's the point of a community? Not another place to hear your content. It's a place to engage with other people. So asking questions, sharing GIFs, doing polls are going to generate a lot more engagement than just sharing a bunch of content that you are posting already online. Next, you're going to develop a mini course. And this is a 5-day free course that delivers quick wins. Now, how do you know it's a 5-day course? It doesn't mean 5 videos necessarily. Mine, I like to do 4. Just give them enough time to be able to do a video a day and have it done within 5 days. And you want to make sure of 2 things. It is actionable. So when they go through the course, it gives them practical information. And second, it produces tangible results. In other words, they feel accomplished, like, hey, I finished this section. I finished this piece, and I can go and apply it. That's tangible, not just theory and concepts. And then you're going to establish clear rules. Now, this is the part that scares a lot of people. When you build a free community online, and this is a funnel, by the way, guys, and people consume the mini course, give them 3 rules. Rule number 1, they must complete the mini course in 5 days. Rule number 2, they must do the assignments. Assignment could be as simple as, post in the community what you enjoyed most about this training and what you're going to do to implement it, or your biggest roadblocks, things like that. Keep it simple, but keep it tangible. And number 3, if they break rule 1 or 2, they are booted from the community. Now, why? Because you want a community of action takers, not procrastinators. There's another reason for this, which I'm about to share with you, but it's so critical that you follow through on these rules. If you don't, people will begin not to trust you. Don't be one of those marketers who promises, oh yeah, no problem. You got 5 hours. And if you don't buy in 5 hours, then you don't get the discount. 5 hours go by and the timer starts over. Credibility just dropped. Or, oh, you get a discount as long as you buy by Saturday. Someone comes in on Sunday. Oh, I missed it. I was on vacation. Oh, I'll make an exception. Credibility just dropped. You need to be a hard ass about your rules. People will trust you and you will end up with more sales long term because people realize you mean what you say and you say what you mean. And that brings me to implement action-based filtering. It's a fancy word for simply saying you need to remove people who aren't good for the community and keep people who are good for the community. You end up with an amazing, engaging community who will motivate you, not just you, them, but also many of them will buy your high ticket program. Let me explain. You have a high value reward, special video for those who complete the course. If they complete the course within 5 days and they do the assignments within 5 days, there's not just a negative incentive, do it within 5 days or we're kicking you out. There's positive incentive. There's not just fear of the cat behind them. There's the smell of cheese in front of them for the mouths. And that is you give them a video that is of high value, like something that will really help them, something that you would include in your course if you're selling a course. 5-day deadline. This creates urgency and filters for committed learners. They have 5 days to complete that mini course. Let me put it this way. So I have an entrepreneur friend who suggested I read Stealing Fire. It's this concept, this book about how to create altered states of consciousness to upgrade your performance. I bought the book, I put it on my shelf, and guess what I did next? Nothing. Went back to my regular life. Do you want to know why I didn't read that book for months? Because there was literally no incentive saying, read this book or you're going to miss out on something or you're going to lose something. The fact that it was always sitting there when I needed it made it easy to postpone reading it. And that's exactly what people will do with your course if you don't give them a deadline. And the cool thing is in the course, they watch your pitch. Part of your course is you include an offer and you don't sneak it in, bait and switch. You just tell them, hey, just so you know, part of this, I'm going to be sharing with you my digital product. I'll be pitching my offer. Let them know. And when you get to the part, say, if you don't want to watch this part, you don't have to. It's not even part of the requirements to get the reward video. But if you're interested and you think I could help you and my team could help you, then stay and see if it's a good fit for you. When you give people freedom of choice, it makes them want to stay. Quality community. Only action takers remain in your space because you kick out the people who don't move to action. And you're like, oh, Seth, what if I kick out 70% of them? That's fine. That's great. You end up with the 30% great. Look, you could do so much more with the few people who take action than a massive crowd of people who sit on the stadium benches. Natural selection. Non-serious prospects filter themselves out. It's a wonderful thing. Now, this is the part where you present your offer. Now, when I mentioned the course, I mentioned I like to do 4 videos, and then the 5th video is a reward video. But the 4th video, the last of the mini course section, the second half of that 4th video is where I'm presenting my offer. I'm explaining what they can buy. This is my program, my course, my coaching program. And that's what I'm talking about here. There's a few elements I want to share with you. Value first. Deliver transformative free content before any pitch. Well, that's what you did in video 1, 2, and 3, and the first half of video 4. Problem awareness. Help them recognize their bigger challenges. When you create your course, it's important that you do what is called mind-shifting content. Let me give you an example, okay? This is opposite of tactical. Let's say you're walking down the street with your wife and you notice a house. And the house is nice, but the yard is plain. And you go, honey, you know what would be really cool is if they planted some beautiful trees in that yard. And she goes, yeah, it would. And you say, you could have like 3 right here, 2 over here in a cluster, 1 over here. Make sure they're the kind that bloom in the springtime. Make sure that they're pruned. What is that called? That's called strategy. You're coming up and explaining the big picture plan. And here's why it would beautify this property. Tactical is different. Tactical is like, we need to go Home Depot. We need to go buy the trees. We need to get the mulch. We need to get the post hole digger. We need to hire someone to do it. We need to water them. We're going to have a watering system. We're going to use a hose. How often? Fertilizer. That's the tactical. Make your videos strategical. The big picture idea. Because that changes their thinking. Before anyone's going to go to Home Depot to buy trees, they need to be convinced that they actually need these trees. How do you convince them? Mind-shifting content, AKA strategical content. Give them the big picture. Explain why this is so important. Now, if you want to go a little bit into tactics, that's fine, but I'll tell you this for sure. If you give away a lot of tactics when you're also wanting someone to buy, fewer people will buy. Give the strategy for the mind-shifting content, then put the tactics into your course or your coaching program. Next part of presenting your offer, solution reveal. You introduce your paid offer as the logical next step. You don't just throw it in there like, oh, cool content, video 1, cool content, video 2, cool content, video 3, cool content, video 4, part A, and then, oh, by the way, here's an offer. You want to buy this? No. Make your offer say, look, this offer shows you how to implement everything I taught you. It gives you all the steps. It gives you accountability. It gives you a community. We answer questions in the community. You may even include one-to-one or group coaching. See, make it a natural next step towards their goal, and you'll sell a lot more. And last, give a clear invitation. Make a compelling, time-sensitive offer. How do you make it compelling? When you show them your offer, whatever your digital product is, make sure that the value you show them is at least 10 times greater than the cost they will pay. Now you might be thinking, Seth, how do I determine the value? Do I do the old school way where they say this element of the offer is worth $2,797 and this element is worth $397? No, don't do that. It's old school. It's been abused. People don't trust it. People were throwing whatever price tags they want on there, $1 million, $1 million, and they're going, what? What you do is calculate how many hours and how many dollars you spent learning each of these. I calculated, I've spent over 21,000 hours building and selling courses since I started doing this as an entrepreneur. If I just charged $1 per hour for the time I spent, not even including the $3 million I spent on average learning how to do it, like investing in coaches and programs to teach me, that'd be a $21,000 program. See? Now you're giving them something tangible because it's coming from your experience, and people really appreciate when they see how much time and money you spent working on this. Now, if you're in the beginning stages of this, don't fret, don't worry about it. Do you think I had 21,000 hours when I started? Of course not. Everyone has to start somewhere. So like Toby Mack said, if you're going to start somewhere, why not now? Okay, now's the fun part. You get to reap the rewards. I love this dude here. He's just funny. Medieval ages, and he's got a laptop. Quality community. You literally built a group of committed action takers. And even for the people who don't buy, they still get to stay in the community. They stay there. And these people are going to be great. They're going to be asking questions. They may refer someone who buys. They may buy later, but they're great people because they're committed. I'm telling you this, people who do the work versus people who just talk all the time are so much better to work with. They actually they understand the cost of discipline. They understand the cost of building something bigger than themselves. Those are the kind of people you want, and it makes it a vibrant community. Qualified prospects. Everyone has heard your offer. They understand your value and what you provide, which means you're going to get more sales. And that's the last point, meaningful income. You're making money while genuinely helping people. This creates sustainable, fulfilling success. What I just shared with you took me 10 years to learn. So I hope you find this hugely valuable. If you did, click the link below. I'm not going to sell you something right now. Click the link below and you can sign up for what's called Craftsman Spark, where I will send you content like this every single day.